Hi guys, welcome back to another vlog. Yes, you read it right. If you're someone who wants to know more about coming to Canada, or if you're still waiting for your visa get approved, or if you want to immigrate to Canada as an international student or a worker, here are 5 helpful information I wish I knew before coming to Canada. But before that, if you're new to this channel, my name is Arnel and I came to Canada as an international student and now working full-time through an open work permit. Also, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified on my next video. You know when they say, if you talk to the camera and you make vlog, you just have to just imagine that you're speaking to someone. This is gonna be our setup for today's vlog. It's just a sit down discussion of the things I wish I knew before coming to Canada. This might be helpful for you. And it's just one-on-one, real talk. And maybe you're thinking that life in Canada is great. And everything is just, wonderful and amazing experiences, but the reality is it's not. So stay tuned to this video and let's begin. On my first video, which by the way you should watch, I explained my life journey and how I was able to come to Canada. If you've seen it, you'll really understand why there's a lot of things that I wasn't able to prepare, do some research and prepare a lot of stuff before coming to Canada. I had to complete all my requirements at a very limited time. And because of that, I didn't have time to prepare for other important stuff. So when I landed to Victoria in Canada, there are a lot of things that I realized that if ever I knew this or knew that, things could have been better or I could have been more prepared for my life here in Canada. Alright, so number 1 is the weather. If you're planning to come to Canada for work or study, you have to know exactly which part of Canada you're going to and what's the weather like. Before, my first impression of coming to Canada, well, in terms of the weather, is really just snow. Currently, I'm in the province of British Columbia. BC alone is known for its wettest climate in Canada, as well as some of the driest. Well, some part of BC and in Canada, you will experience the coldest winter season and the warmest summer season. Victoria, on the other hand, has the most moderate climate in all of Canada. Very short winter season and perfect temperature for a summer season. I guess this made me realize that I just landed to Canada on a city that has the mildest and moderate weather in all of Canada. So going back, if you're planning to come to Canada, make sure to consider how's the weather, what will be the weather in the area that you're planning to go to. If you're comfortable, if you're okay with the weather, then so be it, go with it, so you can be more prepared in coming to Canada. And number 2, the part-time job as an international student. As an international student, you can only work 20 hours per week or 40 hours bi-weekly, or work as many as you can on campus during school days. Before coming to Canada, this sounds very inviting and interesting. If you have plans of coming to Canada, better take this into consideration because your 20 hours per week or 40 hours bi-weekly is not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough. One more. It's not enough. Well, that's just my own perspective and my own experience. Coming from not well-off family in the Philippines, I would consider that this is the 20 hours or 40 hours per or the 20 hours per week is really not enough to cover your expenses here in Canada as an international student. So to give you a little background or a little bit of perspective, the minimum wage in BC right now is 15.65 per hour. Now, let's say you worked 40 hours bi-weekly, you multiplied it at 15.65, so that's a total of $626. For your expenses, rent itself will cost you around $750 to $900 depending on which location you are in, but that's the current situation now of room rentals here in Canada. And then plus your phone bills, your groceries, your bus pass, your insurance. Things to consider. Before coming to Canada 4 years ago, I really thought that 40 hours bi-weekly will really help me cover some of my school tuition. But no. I ended up borrowing some money to my friends and some family just to pay up my tuition. Shout out to all of you guys. You know who you are. And number 3, your driver's license. I think when I was still a student, this is not a priority for me. I enjoy my bus rides to and from the university. But now, working full-time and having a part-time job, I wish I knew how important it is to have a driver's license. Not that I can afford now to buy a car and its insurance and the gas, but it would be better if you know how to drive and you have a license. You see, most immigrants here in Canada would work for 2 to 3 jobs just to save up money, maybe for their future goals or sending money to the Philippines or sending money back home. However, it would be so hard commuting from one job to another when the transportation is not reliable sometimes, or the location of your other job is not public transport friendly. That's one of my realizations. I wish I knew how important driver license is, or saving up money maybe to rent a car or to lease a car or to buy a second-hand car. That could have been part of my plans in coming to Canada, save up money just to buy a second-hand car maybe. And now, considering the price of gas nowadays, I still enjoy my bus ride. Not only that, if you're in Vancouver Island in Victoria, there's so many beautiful places around the island that is only accessible by car. So if you love hiking, if you love camping, if you want to go to the beach, some of them are accessible by bus, but you can save time by using your own car, and you can drive, and you have your driver's license. So take this into consideration to prepare your license before coming here. Another example is that back when I was a student, my apartment is only 6 minutes away from the university, but a public transport, it would sometimes take you 15 to 30 minutes because it goes to residential areas, pick up some students. So it would take more time using public transport. But back in the days, I enjoy my bus ride. I love my power naps. And after I graduated, I hustled 2 full-time jobs. I work at an Airbnb, I work at the hospital, and sometimes it will be so hard for me. Sometimes I'm gonna be late because of commuting, but I survive. But that's it. Like, it's one of my realization how important to have a driver's license, just in case if you really need to have a car, then you have that. And number 4, international students' tuition fee is way more expensive than a domestic student. So before coming here in Canada, I already knew that tuition fees are very expensive, coming from a not well-off family in the Philippines, and by that it was already hard. But when I came here and realized that international students' tuition fee is way more expensive. Sometimes it's double, if not tripled, compared to the domestic. So again, if you have plans of coming to Canada, do your own research, do some comparison based on location, the university, and its tuition fee. You're gonna take all of this into consideration before coming here. Doesn't hurt you at all. It will benefit you if you do some research. There are really good universities in Canada that are not too expensive, but certainly there's a compromise. So let's say, for example, a good university in Ontario maybe, but the compromise is you'll be living in an area where, you know, very cold weather, you know, long winter season. So that can be a compromise for you, but it depends. So really take into consideration in terms of, you know, tuition fees, the weather, if you're whichever is more comfortable for you. And number 5, Canada employers don't usually recognize your home country's qualification. This is something that we cannot prepare. And I think that most immigrants can relate to this. Most of us have professional jobs in our home country. You may be an engineer, you may be a doctor, you may be a nurse, you hold a senior management position, you may be a manager in a restaurant, in a fast food restaurant, you may be a restaurant manager in your home country. But if you come to Canada, it's not going to matter anymore unless you get a Canadian experience. And in order to do that, you need to start from the bottom. So if you're coming here as an international student and you have a professional job back home, it might be difficult. It's difficult to get a part-time job that is within your skills because companies in Canada wouldn't hire a part-time employee that is in a senior management position, right? So mostly international student starts from the bottom. Sometimes you really have to work your way up. But if you're coming here as a skilled worker, as an immigrant, it might be different, you know? You come here with your skills, then you might find a job that is really in a senior management because you can work full-time. Then yeah, it's one thing that you have to prepare. Maybe a good example is there's a lot of Filipinos come to Canada as a fast food restaurant supervisor, and back home they're like manager, they hold a senior position in the company. But when they come here, they start as a supervisor, which is more like a crew with a supervisor role. Let's be honest, that's the reality here in Canada, and you know, I've worked with them. That's why big respect to all the Filipinos or to whoever come here as an immigrant and start from the bottom and work their way up. Kudos to you guys. I really admire how immigrants were humbly working their ass off. Humbly working their way up. So my final advice is that if you're planning to come to Canada as a worker or as an international student and you have an agency working your papers for you, try not to believe whatever they say 100%. Do your own research and do your own due diligence. It may look like, you know, they're very expert of the things they do for your paperwork and, you know, give you advice on what to do for your requirements. But at the end of the day, it's you who will be living here in Canada. So you want to make sure that when you arrive in Canada, you will not be culture shocked and realize at the end of the day that there's a lot of things that, you know, you wish you knew before. So this video might give you some little information, and I cannot stress enough to do a lot of research and you know, be more prepared in coming here. Don't follow your guy. And if you have any questions about living in Canada, please leave a comment down below. I'll try to answer them to the best I can. And again, here's your usual reminder that everything happens for a reason. Till next time, bye!